Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth. Welcoming to the program, first timer on here. He himself is becoming a market icon. You see him every morning on CW39's The Morning Dose. The man himself, the anchor, the lead, Mr. Shannon LaNier.
Oh, you're too kind, too kind. Man. Thank you. It's a blessing to be here. Thank you for having me.
Man, listen, since you came to Houston, you've been making a splash, bro. But there's still some folks who may not be familiar or, know your background. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, again, my name is Shannon LaNier. Of course, you can follow me on social media at Mr. Shannon LaNier. Holla at your boy. But I came to Houston about a year ago from New York City to anchor the CW39 morning show with the one and only Sharon Melton, and we've been having a ball ever since. I mean, we wake up, we get there, 6 to 9 a.m., we're on your TVs, and we're just having a good time. We try to present news, and in a way where it's not just always doom and gloom and just sad somebody got killed, somebody got shot up, but we also bring you the lighter side of the news and like to have fun. We have guests on, we do demos and cooking and a little bit of everything. We always eating on the show. We love to eat, but we also love to inform people in the audience and the viewers where they can go to eat, not just, that there's food, but there's so many places to eat in Houston. We want to kind of filter it out for people like this is where you should be going. This is who you should support.
Yeah. Now, when I got here, that was the first thing that I noticed about this city.
Since you can eat every day at a different place,
and it was and it was different.
Yeah.
Like I was like, man, like there's a Brazilian spot here, like here's an Asian spot, here's a Korean spot, here's a barbecue spot, here's a soul food spot, and I was like, Houston must be really diverse. And then the more I got acclimated and opened my eyes, I was like, every type of person is in Houston, Texas.
And coming from New York, you wouldn't think somebody else or some other place would be able to compete with the diversity of New York, but Houston is doing it.
Yeah,
they're doing it.
Surpassed them.
Yeah, exactly. Doing it
well.
So
for you, with doing the news, who or what was it when you were growing up that made you say, "This is what I want to do"?
I don't think it was a certain person. It was just one of those things that I always wanted to do. I was with the kid with the camera in my hand from day one. I bought my own camera. I got one for Christmas, and I was always shooting home videos and, doing screening parties for my family to come over and watch the home videos and doing crazy stuff. So I was always in it, always on it, always wanted to do it. And then I went to school for communications in high school at Hughes Center. Started out as just a kid going to high school.
Where'd you grow up?
Yeah, in Cincinnati, Ohio. Grew up in Cincinnati. Yeah.
I'm from Dayton.
No way. That's why I like this guy. Ohio in the house.
Yeah, I'm from Dayton. And I lived in Cincinnati for 7 years.
Wow.
I went to UC, and then my first radio station was The Wiz.
And I was right across the street from UC at Hughes Center, the big tower in the industry. And one of my first jobs and internships was at The Wiz. WIZF.
Are you for real?
Yeah, FM, yeah.
Yo, my
They even gave me a scholarship to go to college under the Love family. I was there when they were
when I got there, it was Ross and Cheryl Love.
Yeah, still talk to Jonathan. He did this teen summit type of show on like Sundays, I think it was. And I was one of the first iteration of students to be on the show.
Shut up, Shannon.
Yeah. See, look
at that. Small world.
And we never talked about that. That's funny.
So Jonathan and I would he had of course, he had his own show that was weekdays on the talk show, but on the weekends, like I was one of the hosts for the he called it the Weekend Review, and so we would talk about things that happened in the news, nationally, sports, all of that.
Wow. That's where I guess I started talking a lot because I did like the debate team in high school, and then I started talking more on his show and having that platform to talk about teen issues. And then I had another TV show called Real Exchange where we actually won an Emmy. It was like a teen summit, but for a diverse group in Cincinnati where we put on TV shows for about teen issues.
Hell no. This is wild.
Cincinnati in the building.
That's wow. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to news anchor Shannon LaNier. Let's talk about Daddy Duty 365. So if you follow Shannon on social media, you know that he is a hashtag girl dad.
Yes.
And but you have three beautiful children.
Thank
Talk
you.
about your kids.
Yeah, so I'm a full-time father, and I have three kids, Madison, Mackenzie, and Carter. Madison just turned 9 2 days ago. Mackenzie is 6 and Carter is 4. And they have given me lots of gray hairs. But I love them to death. I wouldn't have it any other way. And because I'm such an involved father, everyone always used to say, you gotta, do a platform for this, show other dads, because I'm always doing their hair. Like, I'm all in. Like, I don't really cook for them. I make food for them. I couldn't call it cooking, but yeah, I make sure they are fed. Right. I go to them to places. I do the baths. I do the getting dressed. I do everything that my wife does. I do, except for I didn't give birth and breastfeed. But other than that, I'm all in. So people said, get a platform for it. So that's what I decided to create Daddy Duty 365. It's a podcast and it's a social media platform as well. And you can get the podcast at daddyduty365.com, as well as anywhere podcasts are available, iTunes, music, all that stuff. And so basically it's where celebrity dads can go to reveal the good, the bad, and the funny of fatherhood. And they are really getting candid. It's like being a fly on the wall in a man's cave and talking about, this is what it's really like, the good, the bad, and really the funny, because a lot of times it's just like you're laughing at the stuff the kids did or that you did right or wrong, but we're learning through those mistakes. And, I'm using it as a platform to help uplift other fathers, because there's so many negative things out there right now about dads, that this is an opportunity to prove to the world and to prove to each other that there are lots of great dads out there that are doing what they're supposed to do, handling their business 365 days of the year. So that's why I came up with Daddy Duty 365.
I love that. And to that point, my brother up under me, he he is one of those dads. 4 girls now.
Wow.
But when my nieces were smaller and the young, she's the third one. When she was the youngest one, she had drew this picture. And I remember him FaceTiming me. He was like, bruh, look at this picture Nia drew. It was a picture of the family, but with the dad. And then he was looking at the other kids' paintings or drawings, and they had no dad.
Oh, man.
And I was just sad. It's just like, wow. Yeah. And so, and he was just explaining like, yo, this thing is a task. Like, he, just like you, doing their hair. Yeah. Hell, he even arches their eyebrows now.
He got skills. I might have to have him on the show.
Yeah. So you're right. And I don't think that, especially black fathers or fathers of color, don't get the props that they do, because they're only seen one way, absent.
Yeah.
But there's a whole...
Tons of dads that are present and active. I know even though single fathers that are out there doing it, without the mother in the picture, still holding it down, still doing what they're supposed to do, because they have to. People see me out with all 3 of my kids often, and people are always shocked, like I'm a unicorn, like, wait, where's your wife? But you have them all by yourself? I'm like, yeah, because I'm a father. That's what I do. That's what you're supposed to do. It's my duty. It's my responsibility. It's my honor to be able to handle that responsibility.
What has been probably the biggest misconception about parenting, and does it vary with the different sexes of the child? Is raising a girl easier versus raising a boy, or vice versa?
Shoot, these days, no telling, because everybody's picking their own genders and everything. But so I don't know how it's going. I can speak to my children. I have 2 girls and a boy, and my girls are definitely harder to raise than the boy, because the boy is like, he's very nonchalant. He just goes, he's chill mode all the time. And the girls, they all have different personalities, but the girls, they have that emotional side. So, they get a lot more crying. My son, he does whine, but you can tell it's so fake. But the girls, they're good at it. They're good. They're convincing. They get tears and everything. And so some of the times I'm just like, I don't think you're crying for real, so you just don't pay attention to them. And they're like, oh, wait, she is crying for real. And so they have more of the emotional connection to them. And so I'm always trying to figure out how to connect with them on that emotional level. Because, some guys, just not as emotional, and it takes some work to tap into that and to be empathetic and sympathetic to their feelings, their emotions. And when you're, and even with my son, I tell my kids it's okay to cry. You're allowed to cry when something is wrong, when you're hurt, when someone hurts your feelings, when you're bruised, something like that. Because I am not under the impression that sticks and stones can break your bones, but words will never hurt you, because words are powerful and they do hurt. But I try to make sure I instill in my children the difference between crying when you don't get what you want, and crying when something is really wrong. So it's like the kid that cries wolf. We try to, warn them of that all the time. Half of the time they don't listen. But Either way, regardless, boys or girls, it's all difficult. You're all learning something. You're learning something new with every single kid because they're all different. My wife says the same personalities they had in the womb they have right now, which is interesting to me.
Wow.
But yeah, my one daughter, the oldest one, she will run first and jump off of a cliff without even looking. My second daughter, she's not even getting near anything that looks like a cliff. And then my son will go, he'll look, and then he'll jump. So, like, see what I'm saying? Usually you have these three different personalities, so saying one is harder than the other, it depends. My son does things that the girls never did, like trying to stick forks in the sockets. Like the girls never did anything like that, and he just throws things all the time, and he's always fighting. So yeah, it's a learning experience with every kid.
I'm sure I missed that. I thought I was a dad.
Thought?
Yeah,
because someone told you were.
Yeah, she told me I was, and I was like, oh, okay. And took him in, was raising it was a good year. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Like, the features of my family are really, really, really strong. I don't see none of me in this child.
Well,
like
on Lauren Lake, a paternity course, she'll tell you that don't matter. But
true. But I mean, something though.
Wow.
I mean, something like no slanted eyes, no chocolate, no cheek, none of that. And I was just like, yeah, I want to get a test.
And so you told her you want to get a test, and what did she say?
Oh, it
she
got
freak
defensive.
Out?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, why? Well, we there was a time where there was that break. I'm just saying, like, I just need to be sure because I'm already attached, like, and to further on with this, and I'm in college at the time.
Oh
so,
yeah, that's hard.
Like,
yeah, one less thing would be a good thing at that point. So after you got the test, then what happened, and how did that make you feel when you found out he wasn't your kid?
It was shocking at first. I was hurt.
Yeah.
I was hurt. Few days. It took a few days, and then a friend of mine was looking on at the other side of the coin, and I was like, you know what, you're right. I did. I escaped, and so now I went on with life, and now I'm here. But now I got baby puppy fever.
Yeah.
I really do.
Maybe you can go back and get the other one. Like, on second thought, since we already know each other. No, but that is a reality in a lot of men's families, and a lot that happened in my family. My brother raised a kid for 2 years until we found out it wasn't his, and it was devastating. To not only him, but in fact that the entire family.
My uncle did the same thing. I had who I thought was my cousin Stacy. I mean, up until she was like 14, maybe, and then
you're already family at that point.
I mean, come on.
Wow.
You listen to Access Houston, talking to Shannon LaNier from CW39, The Morning Dose, weekday mornings at 6 a.m. to 9 on the CW, and Daddy Duty 365, the podcast, available at daddyduty365.com. Correct?
You got it, and we want everybody to listen because you're really learning important lessons from these celebrity dads that are on the show. I mean, we've had already Boris Kojo and his brother Pat Kojo.
Nice.
We had him on the show. Master P was on the show educating folks about, raising the next generation of entrepreneurs like he did with Romeo and his other kids. You remember Pretty Ricky?
Yeah.
The group Pretty Ricky? We had Spectacular on the show. Yep. And then Houston's own Trade of Truth was just on the show as well. So we've been having some impactful people that are really allowing themselves to be vulnerable. And still ahead, we have a whole slate of people scheduled to be on the show that are just amazing and giving feedback and allowing themselves to be vulnerable. Mike Hill, who is the fiance to Cynthia Bailey on Real Housewives of Atlanta, he has a book coming out called Open Mic. And on this podcast, Daddy Duty 365, he talked to me about the importance of therapy and how if he didn't go through some form of therapy in his life, he would probably be dead right now. He actually got emotional and cried on the podcast talking about how he thought about what his life would be like had he been dead, and had he been able to be here for his daughters, to be able to fix the things that were wrong with him and the demons that were in his life in order to make himself a better man for Cynthia, for his daughters, for his ex-wife. So it was just impactful and emotional, and it was just refreshing to see a big, strong sports anchor. He's on Fox Sports and he has a podcast too, and a big guy be vulnerable enough to talk about the demons that he was facing and how he needed the therapy and getting rid of the stigma behind therapy, especially with Black men, that it's okay to get the help that you need.
That's dope. So definitely check out the podcast, Daddy Duty 365.
And we have a lot of fun too, so don't think it's all serious, heavy stuff. We crack up. Nephew Tommy is on the show this Wednesday, dropping, and so you can check out Nephew Tommy. He just cracked us up the entire time. We went long. We ended up talking for like 45 minutes because he just kept cracking us up. We had a good time. So
that's what's up. Check that out. And since it is Black History Month, this is absolutely fascinating. You are the 6th great-grandson of Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings?
Yeah, that's my people's. So I'm the 6th great-grandson, which makes me the 9th generation direct descendant from Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings through their son, Madison Hemings. So, and it's basically through the oral history of my family that I've known this. And, now everybody knows that it's all out. It used to be people thought Jefferson built Monticello all by himself and didn't have slaves at all.
Right.
And then they said, okay, he had slaves, but he didn't have any children with any slaves. And now they're like, okay, he had maybe one child with a slave. And now it's like, okay, he had all the kids. Yeah.
Look, Thomas Jefferson liked the chocolatey.
Yes. That is safe to say. Yes. By fact.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. DaddyDuty365.com is where you can get the podcast. And, of course, check them out every morning, Monday through Friday, weekday mornings on CW39's The Morning Dose. Man, Shannon, thank you so much for coming on. This was great.
Thank you for having me. I'll see y'all also at Mr. Shannon LaNier on social media.
No doubt. And thank you for listening to Access Houston. Good Sunday morning. You're listening to Access Houston. I'm your host, KG Smooth, welcoming back my queen.
King.
She is the founder and CEO of Eyeconic Television, the incredible, the phenomenal, the vivacious, and intellectually entertaining Jaleah Davis.
Hey, thank you so much for having me here, KG.
You already know
amazing.
What it is. You already know what it is.
Like
you know the vibes.
Man. Yes. And the vibes are always good with you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Always.
I appreciate that. First, let me say this to you. Congratulations. 2 years.
2 years.
And you got many more to go.
Many more.
But the growth of Eyeconic Television over this past year has really been amazing. I mean, even to the point as to where the station is on television apps.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
and
right.
so let's go back because there may be a lot of people who, don't even know.
They don't know about it. That's true. Every day
you are the youngest Black woman to own a television station, a whole TV station.
Yes.
A whole TV station. Like, where they do that at? Houston, Texas? No, but tell us about Eyeconic and what made you want to own a television station? Like, walk us through the story for those who may not know it.
Okay, so yes, guys, Eyeconic Television. I am the founder, the owner, the CEO. I started with media in 6th grade. I'm not gonna say my story too long because it could be a little lengthy. But the shorter version, I just started in 6th grade. I went to Dulles Middle School and Dulles High School in Sugar Land, and they had the programs. It really starts in the schools. I went to high school after that. It starts in the schools, man. And it's funny because I actually I went somewhere recently where I was talking to a school, and I was telling them they were so lucky because they had all these programs, and that's where it starts. Like, you can literally find your calling as little as 6th grade as long as it's available. I think people get lost in their life because things are just not available. So it really becomes your environment. Yep. So, I was blessed to have a good environment. Found out about media. They had the same media program in high school, so I kind of knew. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to college for this. And so I went to college, Stephen F. Austin State University, go Jacks, and graduated my bachelor's in mass communication, radio and television, mass communications, radio and television. And after that, I kind of just always tell people I faithed it. I faithed it till I make it. I faithed it till I made it. And I just did not want to settle for like an editor in a newsroom. I just couldn't see myself doing that at the college. I was like, no, I want to be a personality. I want to interview people. I want to know people's story. And so I waited and I just trained myself in a lot of things. I took a lot of mentorships, a lot of just a lot of opportunities. I took them, no matter if it wasn't paying or anything like that. And definitely 3 months later, came something. And I think a lot of people forget, like they're always looking for the money, but it's like, no, you got to get the opportunity. You got to get the experience,
Right.
you know, and because of those experiences I had when I presented myself to a station, because I knew so much and I was so well experienced, they just took me right away. And so I was able to go on a television station and have my own TV show and start interviewing people. And it was a local station like my station.
Mm-hmm.
So I was blessed to be on there, but it was about 3 years later, I realized they were working me. And I was working so hard, and I realized I was working so hard for something that wasn't mine.
Mm.
And that's when I woke up. Like, I just woke up one day. It was around Thanksgiving. Actually, it was a couple of days before Thanksgiving. I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm going to put in my 2 weeks. I don't know where I'm going. I could be going to LA.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I was like, I have no plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew God
had. It
was a faith walk. And like, literally, I knew God had a plan for me because I was just not feeling it. And I could feel him literally pushing me. Like, see that? You see that? You asking for me to help you, but I'm showing you the signs. I need you to trust me and move. And so that was the thing. Like, I was put in different situations where it was like, it wasn't that it was uncomfortable, because I love being uncomfortable. That means I'm growing.
Right.
But it was the fact that, like, things were just not right. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to leave. Literally, the moment I left, I was presented with opportunity 2 days later to purchase a station. And I knew what he was preparing me for. He was preparing me for that move right there. And so 2017, December 2017, I was able to purchase a station with the help of an angel donor. That's what God had to set up. The angel donor don't even want a percentage back. They don't want anything. They just want to see me thrive. And just blessed. And I was presented with an angel donor, and, you know, I launched the station within a month. I don't know how. God, that's how. But I launched the station within a month. Now we're sitting here coming up on the 2-year anniversary. Yeah. Eyeconic Television, man, it's all about educating, entertaining, enlightening, and focusing on our entrepreneurs. Mm-hmm. That's what we're about. We're helping everyone become iconic. We're offering a platform for people. No matter what you look like, what you go through, we feel that we can help you get to your dreams with Eyeconic Television, no matter what it is. And it's 15.10, so it's a local channel. We go as far as Prairie View, Winnie, Texas, Livingston, Texas. We reach everyone. Everyone gets us. You don't have to have cable. And like you said, which we will actually be announcing at the event, we're now on Roku. Mm-hmm. And come March, towards the end of March, we'll be on Apple TV and Fire Stick.
Wow.
And it's just up from here, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just up from here. So I look.
No doubt.
Okay, I'm ready.
I know you are, as you should be. You're listening to Access Houston, talking to Jaleah Davis, media icon, the owner, founder, and CEO of Eyeconic Television. The Eyeconic Event happening at the Buffalo Soldiers Museum on Saturday, February 22nd, hosted by myself and the lovely my girl Alexis.
Yeah, Fly.
Alexis Fly. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to look, because last year you hosted, everybody was talking about that voice. It was for a minute, everybody was like, that voice sounds familiar. I said, that's the Quiet Storm. They was like, oh my gosh, that is him. Like, I was like, yeah, that they were just like, that voice. Oh, that's all I kept hearing. He just has that voice. I'm like, all right, okay. What about the award show?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Eyeconic Academy. That is your nonprofit.
Yes. Yes.
And so giving back it just goes hand in hand when you have something like a television station. I feel. So what's the goal of Eyeconic Academy, the Eyeconic Academy?
So the Eyeconic Academy was definitely birthed April of 2019. We're completely launching it at the event. So we're just putting it out there. We've taken in so far 38. We have 38 icons, a part of the academy, which are like our interns, people that even have 9-to-5 jobs and want to get into their media relations or even life skills. And so the goal of the academy, let me not say the goal. What will happen? The mission. No, because I was going to say what will happen.
Well, what is going to happen?
Let me tell you what's going to happen.
What's going to happen is...
what's going to happen is I'm going to have an academy in every major state, in every major city. That's what's going to happen. And of course, we're going to start right here in Houston. And it'll be an academy where people can come and record things, but as well as learn life skills. So we'll have people coming in to speak to the community. It's for the community. It's not for anyone limited. Right now, we're taking like interns and college students and people that are out of college and people that are just looking to grow themselves. Mm-hmm. So, yes, they come on with the station. They're learning different media techniques because I really feel like you need media in every aspect of your life, especially because that's what moves the world right now, media, technology. Yep. And so, yeah, we teach them different things like that. But we're also teaching them how to become entrepreneurs, or even if you want to keep your job, how to just create a legacy on the side. Mm-hmm. So we're teaching them all type of skills.
Multiple streams
of income, yeah, because it's very important. So just different things like that, credit, just giving tips, motivation. And the Academy, right now, the whole event is actually benefiting the Academy, because we want to start building our own building this year. We will build our own building this year with the help of all the funds that come in from the Eyeconic Event. And we're also going to be birthing kidpreneurs and teenpreneurs, so I'm really excited about that part. So we're going in schools right now, trying to see who wants to start their own business. Mm-hmm. So I'm just really super excited about that.
So for people to do their part and to help donate to this cause, where do they need to go?
So they can go to the Eyeconic. You can go to eyeconictelevision.com. There's a donation button on the link that says "Click here for the Eyeconic Event," and then you can also go to the website, which is eyeconicacademy.org, and that's EYECONIC academy.org. Follow us on all social media. Please email us at info@eyeconicacademy.org.
Indeed. I'm looking forward to it. She sent me a text. She was like, okay, so the colors are black and gold and what's the other one? Black, gold, and...
it was, and my interns hate me because it was burgundy, black and gold. Then it was red, black and gold. Then it went back to burgundy. Then it went back to red. But we're on red, black, and gold now. That's it.
Red, black, and gold.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can wear...
Because I have a black and gold
that's
sports
good.
Jacket. It's black, and then it's got gold splattered on...
That's fine.
The joint.
Yeah, that's fine. You're gonna be. It's KG. You're gonna be like suave. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up. Okay.
Girl, please. You already. What is you talking about? Every time I see this woman, even if it's just at random, like at a store, she's always fly. That's like the Jasmine Sullivan song "Mascara." I keep mascara in my pocket when I'm going to the market because. You never know, who's watching you.
I cannot.
So she just stay fresh and fly. Fresh and fly.
Right now I'm actually wearing opulent perception, and it's about abundance, and I'm really loving what I'm wearing right now.
I like that hoodie too.
It says entertain me intellectually. I think that's the best way to entertain me.
Yeah, and the best way. Well, I was about to go into the quiet storm, but let's keep it. Listen, save the date, Saturday, February 22nd at the Buffalo Soldiers Museum. It is the second annual Eyeconic event featuring the Eyeconic Awards. Yes. Myself hosting along with Alexis Fly, who is an incredible producer over there at KHOU Channel 11. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And did you want to shout out any of your sponsors?
Yes. So what I want to do is definitely want to shout out to Car Crash A Lawyers, Shad Bogny. We are giving away a cruise, a two-day cruise. A cruise for 5 nights and 6 days. So we'll be raffling that off. Raffle tickets are like $5. So somebody's going to walk out of there really happy. Yeah. Everyone's going to walk out happy, honestly. Feeling iconic, actually. But I do want to let you guys know that tickets are available, $20 right now. Those are pre-sales are $20, and then our VIP is $35. If you guys are interested in buying a table, we have those available. We also are still looking for sponsors and vendors. And our vendors, we have a vendor special that will be going on next week for $250. And sponsorships as low as $75. So if anyone's excited to expose their brand to millions of people, because we do have 2.3 million viewers, and then nationwide on our Roku and different stuff like that. So if you're interested in exposing your brand, please let me know, you guys. We want to expose you, get you interviewed, get you out there, and contact us at info@eyeconictelevision.com. Again, that's info@eyeconictelevision.com, and that's EYECONIC.
Indeed. Man, Jaleah.
Yes.
Thank you. Doing amazing things.
Thank you.
Black girl magic, all up in this thing.
And it's Black History Month. Every day.
And it's
Every
Black
month
History Month, which you have definitely made your spot in that category.
Thank you, KG.
Oh,
really appreciate it.
well, you already know how I feel. I mean, I've said it publicly. I've said it privately. And, I know that you are going to be bigger than the Oprah Winfrey.
Thank you.
Just starting this young. The sky it's beyond. You about to be out of here.
God, it's nothing but God. And I give all the praises to God.
And look how consistent he has been with it.
He has been consistent.
If I'm just being, some affirmation to what you have already done, let that be that. But yeah, you doing it right. You about to be out of here.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I love you. I thank you. So save the date. February 22nd at the Buffalo Soldiers Museum for the Eyeconic Event featuring the Eyeconic Awards. Yes. Jaleah, thank you.
Thank you so much, KG.
And thank you for listening to Access Houston.